We have people today. You tell them God isn't real. You give them history, the origin of the word God, the colonizer timeline, and boom, they pull out the last card like it's a Trump move. Yahweh is our creator. Let's unpack that with real logic, step by step. Step 1. They don't want truth. They want control with a new label. You show people that God is a man-made term, that the Bible is a political book, that Christianity was used to enslave. And instead of waking up, they switch costumes and say, it's not God, it's Yahweh. Same trap, new label, still colonized. Step 2. Where did the word Yahweh come from? It came from ancient Hebrew texts, specifically Yah, a name used by a small Semitic tribe in the Middle East about 3,000 years ago. It was a tribal war god, not a universal creator. Just one deity among many, not supreme, not African, not global. So ask yourself, did Yahweh come to you personally and say, hey, I'm your creator? Or did someone tell you to believe it? Step 3. Black people. Yahweh never came to your ancestors. He didn't show up in West Africa. He didn't speak to the Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, Dogon, or Akan. He wasn't in Kemet or Kush. Your ancestors weren't chanting Yahweh in their shrines. They were pouring libations, calling on ancestors and working with cosmic forces. So why reject their truth for a name forced on you later? Step 4. Yahweh is not your root. Africa is. Only about 1% of black people live in modern-day Israel or Palestine, and even there, you're not considered native. They don't claim you as kin. They don't call you chosen. So how is a God, from a land that doesn't claim you, your God? Make it make sense. Step 5. What's really sad? A deep disconnect from self. It's sad that you believe more in a foreign name than your own ancestors. You trust a book written after slavery more than your own DNA. You reject African spirituality but embrace a foreign God who never knew your name. You weren't born saying Yahweh. You were taught that name after your mind was colonized. Step 6. Critical thinking check. If Yahweh never appeared to you, how do you know? You never met him. Your ancestors never met him. You just read about him in a book, a translated, edited, politicized book. Meanwhile, your ancestors visited you in dreams, showed up in rituals, lived in your blood. But you call that demonic and call Yahweh divine. That's not faith. That's colonized confusion. Step 7. You love being chosen, as long as it's by someone else's God. Truth is, you are the chosen ones, not because of Deuteronomy, not because of prophecy, but because you're the first people on earth. All nations come from you. All civilizations began with you. So why do you keep looking for your identity in somebody else's story? Step 8. Your African ancestors were enough. You just forgot. They gave you sacred math, astronomy, spiritual systems, energy healing, temples aligned with the stars. They did all that without Yahweh, Jesus, or a Bible. So ask yourself, why did you trade that for a God who never even claimed you? Step 9. Black people, do you have an issue with your roots? You reject your ancestors, but claim Hebrews. You reject African names, but quote Hebrew ones. You think chanting Yahweh makes you holy, but calling on your grandmother's spirit makes you scared? You've been taught to hate your source. That's not salvation. That's spiritual self-erasure. Step 10. Final message. You weren't created by Yahweh. You were colonized into him. He is not your origin. Africa is. Your ancestors are. The source that flows through your veins is nameless, timeless, and older than every Bible ever written. Yahweh is a label. Africa is your lineage. Final thought. You didn't meet Yahweh. You were handed Yahweh after your ancestors were erased.